we got a very long email from our friends in the Japan subsidiary. So Japan, it was more than half of the Office business. Like it was an incredible part of, it's a whole story about the business model and how Office rolled out in Japan, some really smart decisions from people. But they were like, yeah, this is somewhat disagreeable to us.
In that very polite Japanese.
Oh, it was one of these official, it was translated from English and Japanese at both
versions.
You got
the memo.
We got a memo.
You got the memo.
It was tough. And these are all good friends of ours. We, like this is a very tight, been to Japan many times. I'm still, even to this day, Facebook friends with this whole group. We talk about stuff all the time. And they went on to explain that the problem is that the characters have 4 fingers.
Yeah, Clippy had, all the characters had fingers.
Of the characters, the fingers, they had 4. And the dot, everything, like Bosgrove. Yeah. And like, that's just not really, really not the best approach for us.
And why? Like,
well, there's a lot of lore about this. In fact, there's like a whole Wikipedia article these days about like why it's 4 fingers. All of them, it's a Japan thing.
It's a Japan cultural thing.
And it's a cultural thing, and you just respect it. Yeah. It turns out the Simpsons had this issue, like tons of things have these issues.
The 4 versus 5
5, because animators, 5 fingers it's a lot of drawing, and so they actually don't like 5. Right. And 3 looks like an alien.
Right.
So they don't like 3, so historically animators had used 4. Mickey has 4. And that was sort of our defense. And they're like, but you're not Mickey.
Once you're famous, you can have as many fingers as you want.
So we negotiated a compromise, a win-win sort of situation where we would remove a couple of assistants and then offer some ones we had specially made for Japan. So we made this lovely dolphin that swam, and then we made one that made us uncomfortable at the time, which was Office Sensei, which was translated loosely as Office Lady. And if when you visited an office building in the 90s in Japan, you were greeted by an office lady. And that's just how everything was. That was business. And we were like, wow, this is not what we would like as a brand. And so you get this complexity of developing a worldwide product. I mean, we were shipping in 40 odd languages, 150 countries. How do you balance all of this? We certainly don't want to offend. But is it offensive if the assistant is available? And so we were like, maybe we should write code that the assistant won't work in the English and Western versions of the product.
So interesting, right? Where it might be perceived as offensive.
Right, and the thing was, they're like, it's not offensive. And we're like, but it's offensive to us. And we're like, we're in Japan. And we're in this loop of like, and so we ended up shipping it. And the truth is, it sort of gets into the after assistant. But like, it wasn't offensive, and it's kind of, you really have to go, well, is it really offensive ever? Like it was their culture, and you have to respect it.
Well, this is one of the sort of deep design questions there is, right? Which is empathy for the user versus I know what's best for the user, right? And this is the age-old tension.
Right, and you overlay, like, this is a really important business decision.
Right.
Like, and if the subsidiary is not behind the feature or the product, a whole other set of things happen. It's very complex. It was fine. Like, it rolled out fine, it was all good.